Life will always bring people into your path who seem like blessings, but not everyone who smiles at you has good intentions. And when it comes to women, especially in relationships, many men fail not because they lack strength, but because they never test the woman they give their heart to. They dive in head first, ignoring the subtle red flags, and end up destroyed emotionally, financially, or spiritually. Stoicism teaches us self-mastery, clarity, and the power of testing what enters our life. Just as a blacksmith tests metal by fire, you must test the people who claim to love you, especially a woman you consider building a life with. Testing doesn't mean manipulating, controlling, or playing childish games. It means observing her actions, her character, and her consistency. Because a woman's beauty can fade, her words can deceive, but her character will always reveal the truth. Ask yourself, does she stand with you when life gets tough, or only when the sun is shining? Does she respect your boundaries, or does she push against them to see how far she can go? Does she bring peace into your life, or chaos? These tests are not about her. They're about you. They reveal whether you're willing to protect your soul from destruction. Remember, a Stoic man does not hand over his heart recklessly. He tests, he observes, he waits. And when the truth reveals itself, he has the courage to walk away if she does not meet the standard of a woman who adds value rather than drains it. So don't rush. Don't be blinded by beauty, charm, or passion. A woman who truly loves you will pass every test not because she's perfect, but because her intentions are pure. Protect yourself, my friends, because the wrong woman can destroy you, but the right woman will build with you. Most men fall for the illusion of love during the easy times. It's simple to be loyal when the sun is shining, when money is flowing, when laughter fills the air. But the true measure of a woman is not how she acts when everything is smooth. It's how she stands when life begins to test you both. Adversity is the fire that reveals whether the bond you share is forged of steel or made of fragile glass. If you truly want to know a woman, don't just watch her in moments of comfort. Observe her in the storms. When life throws its inevitable challenges, financial struggles, health problems, unexpected setbacks, this is where her true colors will emerge. You'll see whether she's there to build with you or simply there to enjoy the benefits of your success. Many men have been seduced by words of eternal love, only to discover that the first sign of struggle caused her to pull away, criticize, or even abandon them. Words mean little in times of comfort. Actions in adversity are what matter. A Stoic man knows that challenges are not just obstacles. They are revelations. When you face adversity, don't only ask yourself how strong you are, ask how strong the woman beside you is. Does she lean in to support you, or does she lean back, waiting for you to carry the weight alone? Does she encourage you when you doubt yourself, or does she magnify your failures and make you question your worth? The answers to these questions are not found in her promises, but in her behavior when pressure rises. Many men are blinded by beauty, charm, and passion, forgetting that true loyalty is revealed not on sunny days, but in the storm. When the money slows, does she still speak to with respect, or does her tone change? When life demands sacrifice, does she sacrifice with you, or does she retreat into selfishness? When you stumble, does she extend her hand to help you rise, or does she secretly feel satisfaction that you've fallen? These are the tests that cannot be avoided, for life will always bring moments that strip away the masks people wear. Understand this. A woman who only loves you when you are at your best does not love you at all. She loves the benefits, the image, the comfort you provide, but not you. A woman who loves you through adversity, who stays when others would leave, who fights beside you when quitting would be easier. That is the kind of woman worth giving your heart to. Stoicism teaches not to be swayed by temporary appearances, but to judge by consistent action. Adversity gives you the stage to see her unmasked. This is why patience is your greatest weapon. Do not rush to give your heart away after a few months of joy. Time and trials will test her character in ways you could never engineer. Watch carefully when hardship arrives. Don't interfere. Don't manipulate. Just observe. because adversity has a way of revealing truths that sweet words or romantic gestures can never hide. The wrong woman will use adversity as an excuse to withdraw her affection. She'll blame you for circumstances beyond your control, making you feel smaller when you most need encouragement. The right woman will rise to the occasion, reminding you of your strength when you forget it yourself. She won't just stand behind you when you're winning. She'll stand beside you when you're bleeding. A Stoic man understands that adversity is not just his test, it's hers. And if she fails it, you must have the courage to walk away, no matter how much your emotions resist. Because staying with the wrong woman in the name of love can destroy not only your peace, but your future. Test her through adversity, not because you doubt her, but because you value yourself. Only then will you the truth of who she really is. One of the clearest ways to understand a woman's true character is watching how she responds to the boundaries you set. Boundaries are not walls meant to push people away. They are guardrails designed to protect your peace, your values, and your purpose. They are the lines that say, "This is who I am, and this is what I will not compromise." And yet, many men, blinded by attraction or fear of losing her, fail to enforce those lines. They give in to pressure, they overlook small violations, and slowly, without realizing it, they lose control of their own life. A Stoic man understands that respect is the foundation of any relationship worth building. If a woman truly respects you, she will honor your boundaries without constant testing or resistance. But if she does not, she will push, manipulate, and attempt to bend those boundaries to see just how much she can get away with. That testing is not random. It's her way of determining whether you are a man of conviction or a man who folds under pressure. Think of boundaries like a fortress wall. The stronger the wall, the safer the city. The weaker the wall, the more open it is to invasion. Every time you allow a woman to step across a boundary you've clearly set, you weaken that wall. At first, it may seem small. A joke that disrespects you. A request that violates your principles. A demand that pulls you away from your mission. But over time, those small cracks lead to a total collapse. By the time you notice the damage, you may already be standing in ruins. A woman who truly values you will never see your boundaries as a threat. She will see them as a reflection of your strength. She may test them at first, because human nature always tests. But once she understands they are non-negotiables, she will either adapt or reveal that she cannot respect them. Both outcomes are necessary for you to see. Because the truth is, the woman who refuses to honor your boundaries is not a partner, she is a liability. Ask yourself when you say no, does she respect it? Or does she guilt and trip you until you cave? When you express what you need to stay focused and healthy, does she support it or does she sabotage it? When you draw the line on what you will and won't tolerate, does she grow closer to you in trust or does she pull away defiance? These are not small things. They are revelations of her core values. Too many men think love means compromise at all costs. But Stoicism teaches us that self-respect is not negotiable. If you allow someone to cross your boundaries out of fear of losing them, you will eventually lose yourself. And what good is a relationship if you have to abandon your identity just to keep it alive? A woman who respects your boundaries will make you feel safe, understood, and supported. She will encourage you to stay true to your values because she knows that a man who honors his own principles will also be loyal and consistent. But a woman who tramples your boundaries will slowly erode your confidence, your peace, and your ability to lead your own life. The ultimate test is consistency. It's easy for someone to respect boundaries for a week, a month, or even a year. But pay attention over time. Do her actions align with her promises? Does she honor the standards you've set, even when it's inconvenient for her? A Stoic man does not rely on words. He relies on patterns. Remember, love without respect is not love. If she cannot respect the guardrails you set for your own well-being, then she does not truly respect you. And if she does not respect you, she cannot be trusted with your heart, your mind, or your future. Observe carefully, hold firm, and never fear losing someone who cannot honor the lines that keep your life whole. One of the greatest truths a man must learn is that not every woman seeks peace. Some thrive on drama, on conflict, on emotional storms that never seem to end. And if you are not careful, you may mistake her constant chance for passion, her instability for intensity, and her volatility for love. But understand this, a Stoic man cannot afford to tie his life to a woman who chooses trauma over peace. Peace is not a luxury. It is the foundation of a life worth living. When you invite a woman into your world, you are not only welcoming her beauty and companionship, you are also inviting her spirit into your daily life. If her spirit is unsettled, restless, or addicted to conflict, then your peace will become her battlefield. You will find yourself drained, distracted, and robbed of the clarity you need to pursue your mission. Many men have ruined their potential not because they lack talent or strength, but because they allowed a woman who valued chaos to consume their energy and distract their focus. Drama can wear many disguises. Sometimes it comes as constant arguments over small issues, as if peace is too boring for her. Sometimes it shows up as emotional manipulation, tears used not to heal but to control. At other times, it manifests in her relationships with others, gossip, jealousy, unnecessary conflicts that spill over into your life. Pay attention. A woman who constantly creates storms around her will eventually create storms inside you. The Stoics remind us that tranquility of mind is essential. Without inner peace, no man can live with wisdom or purpose. That's why you must ask yourself, does this woman calm my spirit, or does she agitate it? Do I feel stronger and more focused in her presence, or do I leave re-encounter more exhausted than before? These are not minor questions. They are signs pointing to the truth about whether she values peace or thrives on dramas. A woman who values peace will not always agree with you, but even in disagreement, she seeks resolution, not escalations. She doesn't turn small misunderstandings into wars. She doesn't weaponize silence or tears to manipulate. Instead, she listens, she communicates, and she works with you to restore harmony. You'll notice that when challenges arise, she doesn't make them bigger. She helps you carry them. This kind of woman adds stability to your life, and stability is priceless. On the other hand, a woman addicted to drama never let peace last for long. When things are calm, she will find or create a problem to stir the waters. This is because some people are so used to chew that peace feels unnatural to them. If you are not careful, you will be pulled into her cycle of conflict, and slowly, without realizing it, you'll begin living in constant reaction instead of deliberate action. And that is the death of a Stoic man's discipline. Do not be fooled by passion that is fueled by chaos. True love does not need drama to stay alive. True love flourishes in calm, grows in stability, and deepens in mutual respect. If she only seems alive when there's conflict, you must ask yourself what she really brings to your life. A Stoic man knows that his peace is his power. Without it, he cannot think clearly, lead confidently, or live purposefully. So observe carefully. Does she choose peace, or does she create storms? Does she calm the fires within you, or does she ignite them? The answer will determine not only the quality of your relationship, but the quality of your life. Because when you allow a woman who craves drama into your world, you risk losing the most precious thing a man can have in peace of mind. And once your peace is gone, everything else begins to crumble. Every man who walks with purpose carries a fire inside him, a mission, a calling, a reason to rise every morning and fight through the storms of life. But not every woman will respect that fire. Some will try to dim it. Others will try to redirect it toward their own desires. And if you are not vigilant, you may wake up one day realizing you've lost sight of your mission because you allowed someone into your life who never valued it in the first place. A Stoic man understands that his purpose is non-negotiable. It is not something he puts aside to make a woman happy. It is not something he sacrifices to avoid conflict. His purpose is the very foundation of his strength, his discipline, and his identity. Without it, he becomes a shadow of himself. That's why one of the most important tests of a woman is to see how she responds to your purpose. Does she encourage it? Or does she compete with it? Does she admire your focus, or does she resent the time and energy you give to it? Pay close attention. In the beginning, many women will applaud your ambition, telling you how inspiring you are, how proud they are of your work. But over time, the truth comes out. When your purpose demands long hours, sacrifice, and dedication, does she stay supportive? Or does she begin to complain that you give her enough attention? When you set aside distractions to stay disciplined, does she respect your boundaries? Or does she try to lure you away from your past? A woman's true feelings about your purpose reveal themselves not in her words, but in her behavior when your mission requires sacrifice. Your purpose will always require you to say no to certain comforts, certain pleasures, certain temptations. A woman who loves you but does not respect your mission will see those sacrifices as rejections of her. She will push back, sometimes subtly, sometimes directly, until you are faced with a choice: pursue your purpose or keep her happy. But a woman who truly respects your mission will not make you choose. She will stand beside you, not as a distraction but as a supporter. She will understand that a man without purpose is a man without directions, and she will want to see you become all you were meant to be. Stoicism teaches us that every action must align with our greater good. To abandon your purpose for temporary affection is to trade eternity for a moment. It may feel good in the short term, but it will eat at your soul over time. You will begin to feel restless, unsatisfied, and frustrated, because deep down you know you betrayed yourself. And no amount of love or comfort from a woman can heal the wound of a man who has abandoned his mission. That's why evaluating her respect for your purpose is not just about testing her. It's about protecting yourself. You must be willing to walk away from any relationship that demands you shrink your dreams or compromise your callings, because the woman who truly belongs in your life will never ask you to abandon the fire within you. She will help fuel it. She will push you forward when you feel like stopping. She will remind you of who you are when you begin to forget. Understand, this beauty may fade, passion may shift, but a woman who respects your purpose will always add strength to your journeys. And a woman who doesn't will eventually become an obstacle on the path you were meant to walk. Choose carefully, because your purpose is not just about you. It's about the legacy you leave behind. To hand over that sacred mission to the wrong woman is to betray not only yourself, but everyone you were born to impact. It's easy for a woman to treat you well in the beginning. When the relationship is new, when attraction is fresh, when she wants to win your heart, she will show you her best side. But a wise man does not judge her character only by how she treats him. He watches carefully how she treats others, especially those who can do nothing for her. Because kindness shown to you could be strategy, but kindness shown to others reveals her true nature. A Stoic man knows that appearances can deceive. Anyone can put on a mask of sweetness when they want something, but masks always slip when the person thinks no one important is watching. That's why it is crucial to observe her behavior toward people she has no reason to impress. Waiters, cashiers, cleaners, sleeners in traffic, or even her own family. Does she show respect and patience, or does she reveal entitlement, arrogance, and disdain? The way she treats those she doesn't need speaks louder than the way she treats you in the honeymoon phase. If she is kind to you but cruel to others, you must not ignore the warning, because in time, when the spark fades and the comfort of familiarity sets in, that same quality will eventually be directed at you. Many men have been shocked when a woman who once treated them like royalty suddenly turned cold, critical, or disrespectful. But the signs were there from the start. They just ignored them because they were blinded by love, attraction, or the fear of being alone. Remember, character is not situational, it is consistent. A truly compassionate woman does not reserve kindness only for the man she desires. She carries it with her in every interaction. A truly respectful woman does not play favorites with her manners. She lives by principles, not moods. A Stoic man knows this and therefore pays attention to how she thinks no one is keeping score. Notice how she talks about others behind their backs. Does she speak with empathy and fairness, or does she gossip, criticize, and tear people down? Notice how she responds when someone makes a mistake. Does she show patience, or does she mock and belittle them? Notice how she reacts when she doesn't get her way. Does she handle disappointment with grace, or does she lash out in anger and bitterness? These are not small details. They are windows into her soul. The woman you choose will eventually become the atmosphere of your home, the mother of your children if you choose to have them, the partner who either adds peace or plants poison into your life. If her natural instinct is to look down on people, to manipulate, or to wound with words, that energy will fill your home and your heart. And once you are deeply tied to her, escaping that toxicity becomes a battle many men never win. Stoicism demands that you live in alignment with virtue. That means you cannot close your eyes to the reality of who she is. If she treats the world with cruelty but showers you with affection, you must not mistake that for love. Love rooted in selective kindness is not love. It's convenience. A woman who has true worth will not just uplift you. She will uplift others because her character is genuine. So watch closely. Don't just be moved by how she makes you feel. Be moved by how she makes others feel. Because in time, the way she treats the world will become the way she treats you. And no man who seeks peace, disciplines, and greatness can afford to build his life with a woman who disrespects others. Choose the woman whose kindness is not an act but a habit, whose respect is not conditional but constant. That is the kind of woman who can walk beside you without destroying your peace or your soul. Every man has felt it, that quiet voice inside that whispers when something is not right. Sometimes it's a subtle discomfort. Sometimes it's a heavy weight in your chest. And sometimes it's a sharp alarm that you try to silence. Too often, men ignore this inner warning because they are caught up in attraction, blinded by charm, or afraid of losing the woman in front of them. But Stoicism teaches that reason and inner clarity are gifts meant to protect you. To ignore them is to invite destruction. Your inner warnings are not random feelings. They are the wisdom of your subconscious, piecing together patterns you may not consciously see. They arise when her words don't match her actions, when her smile hides an edge, when her behavior reveals small cracks in the image she presents. But instead of trusting these signals, too many men brush them aside, convincing themselves that they are overthinking, being insecure, or asking for too much. And in doing so, they walk willily into heartbreak. Consider how many men have said, after betrayal, "I knew something was off." They felt the shift in her tone, the lack of respect in her eyes, the inconsistencies in her stories. Yet they ignored it, hoping love would be enough to cover the truth. But the truth never hides forever. The small signs become big consequences, and what could have been avoided early with courage becomes a devastating lesson later in pain. A Stoic man does not dismiss his inner warnings. He listens. He reflects. He does not react in panic, but he does not bury his head in the sand either. He weighs the evidence, seeks clarity, and has the courage to act on what he knows, even if his heart resists. Because in courage stands that emotion is temporary. But the cost of ignoring truth can last a lifetime. Your inner warnings may show up when she disrespects you in public, even if she apologizes later. They may appear when she pushes past your boundaries with a smile, as if testing how far she can go. They may whisper when she tells half-truths, when her words don't align with her patterns, or when she seems more invested in controlling you than supporting you. These signals are not paranoia, they are protection. The danger lies in rationalizing them away. You tell yourself she didn't mean it. You convince yourself it's just stress. You believe her excuses because believing them feels easier than facing the possibility that she's not the woman you hoped she was. But the Stoic path is not the easy path. It is the path of truth, no matter how uncomfortable. And truth always serves you better than a comfortable lie. Ask yourself, would you rather face the temporary pain of walking away now, or the long-lasting destruction of staying with someone who will eventually break you? Your inner warnings are giving you the answer already. You just need the courage to listen. Remember, peace of mind is the greatest treasure a man can have. To silence your inner warnings is to trade peace for chaos, clarity for confusion, and freedom for chains. The woman who truly belongs in your life will never make you question your own soul. She will bring you calm, not unease. She will add to your strength, not drain it. She will align with your spirit, not fight against it. So trust your inner signals. Do not let attraction, fear, or loneliness blind you. If something feels off, it usually is. And if your soul keeps whispering that she is not right for you, have the discipline and strength to listen. Because the Stoic man knows it is better to walk alone in truth than to walk with someone in a lie. At the end of the day, testing a woman is not about playing games, setting traps, or trying to control her. It's about protecting your soul, your peace, and your purpose. Life will test you enough. The woman you choose should not be the reason you lose yourself. If she passes the tests of adversity, boundaries, peace, respect for your mission, kindness to others, and the warnings of your own spirit, then you have found a rare treasure. But if she fails, you must have the strength to walk away, no matter how much your heart protests. Because the cost of ignoring the truth is always greater than the cost of letting go. A Stoic man knows his values, guards his peace, and refuses to hand his future to someone who cannot be trusted with it. Remember this: the wrong woman can destroy your life, but the right woman will help you build it. Choose wisely. Listen to the evidence. Trust your inner clarities. And never forget, the peace you protect today will be the foundation of the life you create tomorrow.